All right, let's talk some ball because the second session of OTAs is officially underway. Day one wrapped up just a few moments ago, and me and my boy producer Seeps hopped into the lab. We got into the stew, and here we are to talk about it. But before we get to that, we're going to get to some news, some takeaways, and all sorts of coverage from the OTA session. Drop a like if you want more videos about Saints OTAs. Tomorrow we have a live show. I still have to script part of that video out. So if you guys want us to talk about OTAs, I need you to hit this thumbs up icon because otherwise, just talk some regular news and rumors. But let's get into the nitty gritty. So Jamaal Williams, he's the first guy I want to highlight and I want to talk about. Jamaal Williams is a stud. Like, let's just set that scene very clear. Let's just make this very obvious. Jamaal Williams is going to be amazing with the New Orleans Saints. He's been working on his pass catching. And if you remember, back at his time in Green Bay, that was one of his more impactful skills that he had with Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay Packers offense. But then whenever he got to Detroit, he found himself being a little bit more of a scat back, being the guy who, put the ball in the touchdown or in the end zone, put the ball across the line for the first down. He was a guy who just did a lot of running and did a lot of hard-nosed running. But let's look at these pictures. Look at this sequence from Derek Carr, which, by the way, again, looks jacked, and Jamaal Williams, who has the greatest face mask or the greatest visor in all of football. I mean, it's sick. Jamaal Williams, you can see him, he's kind of in the middle of a route, and then all of a sudden he goes up, catches it. And then real quick, minor detail, I want you guys to pay attention. See who this is? Kendre Miller. He's watching. He's seeing Jamaal Williams ball out and be a phenomenal football player. And I will continue to say this. Jamaal Williams, or the Saints signing Jamaal Williams, has to be the most underrated move that New Orleans made this offseason. I love that addition to the Saints running back room. I love the fact that now, despite an Alvin Kamara suspension looming, there is a true running back one who can take over. But I also love the fact that he's a versatile player who can complement Alvin Kamara very well. Same with Kendre Miller. It's the similar circumstances there. But I just love this move. And I love having a guy like this in the locker room and in the huddle. It's a lot of fun. You guys know Jamaal Williams. Y'all saw him talking about how you let the piss like a puppy, stay on the porch, let the big dogs eat in last year's Hard Knocks season. So I'm a big fan of Jamaal Williams. I can't wait to see what he does with the Saints. But let's talk about the first-round draft pick from this year, Bryan Bresee. And before you guys start coming after me in the comments, I understand that he's wearing number 11 in this picture. It's an edit. Don't be mad. There's not a lot of pictures of him in Saints gear. But he looks massive right now, and he is going to be dominant as long as he stays healthy. There's a Saints picture with him rocking the black and gold at OTAs, at practice. And honestly, I mean, like I said, he's huge, dude. This guy is massive. And I don't mean this at all in a knock. I mean this completely as a compliment. He barely fits in his jersey. Like, it looks like he's about to tear through that thing, which is awesome. I mean, Bryan Bresee, as long as he's healthy, he's going to be a key piece to the Saints' defensive success, and he's going to be a long-term contributor, in my personal opinion, and I really, really hope that I am correct about all of this because it means the Saints aren't doing that good. But, guys, shout him out. Who have you been most paying attention to? Who have you been watching the most at OTAs? Has it been Derek Carr? Has it been what's going on with Michael Thomas? He hasn't been there, so it can't be Michael Thomas. But it could be a guy like Cameron Jordan. It could be a guy like Kendre Miller, any of Isaiah Foskey, any of the rookies, any of the UDFAs. Let me know, Who Dat Nation. Who are you watching most at OTAs? I'm personally watching Derek Carr the most because without him succeeding, this whole entire operation will go off the rails. So I need Derek Carr to play well, and I need him to continue doing what he's doing at OTAs. So in terms of players who were not present, this list is a little bit longer than it was after the first session. During the first session, about 79 to 80 of the 89 players on the current roster were there. Today, about 15 people were missing. So you had Taysom Hill, Traquan Smith, Michael Thomas, Bradely Roby, Marshawn Lattimore, Lonnie Johnson, Paulson Adebo, Tyrann Mathieu, Alvin Kamara, and Nick Saldiveri. However, Nick Saldiveri, just a note for him, he was present. He just wasn't dressed out. He wasn't in uniform. He was working off to the side with a trainer. So he was there. He just wasn't present, or he was like present, but he just wasn't participating in the, full team drills and everything. However, and to add to the list, you got Ryan Ramczyk, James Hurst, Andrus P., James Washington, who's one of your most recent acquisitions in NFL free agency, and Nathan Shepard, one of your first free agency acquisitions. So this is just, again, it's voluntary. It's OTAs. I wouldn't overthink too much of it. But for a guy like Tre'Quan Smith, who, is fighting for a roster spot, I would personally say, if I'm him, I'm there. But again, I wouldn't overread into it too much. And just because we don't see these guys physically on the field participating in drills, that doesn't mean that they're not on the premises of the practice-related facility. That doesn't mean they're not in the film room. That doesn't mean they're not working with trainers in the weight room. That doesn't mean they're not here in a different room talking to whoever. That doesn't mean that they're not there. It doesn't mean that they're not getting ready for the season. It just means that the guys who are out there at practice, at OTAs, did not lay eyes on them. So that's just how it be. Guys, we are going to be live tomorrow, so please subscribe and join us because we're raffling off this flag to any of the Saints fans who join us tomorrow. The only thing that you got to do to get in, the buy-in, a $5 super chat or a $5 super thanks. Shout out to my main man, Dylan Godfrey, because he dropped a $5 super thanks in yesterday's video. He said, I want that giveaway. I want to win that thing. And right now, Dylan Godfrey is the only guy in the raffle right now. He says giveaway Who Dat. So if you want to be just like Dylan Godfrey and get ahead of the game and buy your tickets, get a $5 super thanks in. We're going to be raffling off. You can buy tickets in tomorrow's live show, so be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications. But here's the steps to send a super thanks. All you have to do is you have to click the thanks icon. It allows you to donate out of the live or outside of the live video and just a regular video that we post here every single day. We always appreciate your support. We're always thankful and very appreciative to the people like Courtney Burgess and Mikey Taylor, who always consistently drop their super chats and always support what we're doing, as well as John Borelli, Wild114, all those guys. So we want to just give you guys an opportunity to continue to get shout-outs and get ahead of the raffle. Send in a super thanks. You will get an early entry, and you will likely have the winning raffle ticket to get that flag. So let's talk about the Speedster. I know that, Fast and Furious 10 just came out or whatever. But let me tell you something. I got the need for speed and Rashid Shaheed. I've been saying it for months. Been saying it for over a year at this point. Rashid Shaheed continues to be a baller. He stood out on the offensive reps. He did have limited reps. He had a couple really, really nice plays, including one that he, had to he was in stride. He had a, one-handed catch, bring it in when he was on a shallow cross across the side or across the middle of the field. So this is just very exciting things. To see Rashid Shaheed continue to develop. I truly do believe the Saints are going to try and find a way for him to be more of a wide receiver, more of an offensive weapon than a special teams guy, because you do have a player like Malik Flowers signed as a UDFA. I have very high expectations, not just for this guy right here, number 22, Rashid Shaheed, but also for number 12, Chris Olave. Very high expectations. I cannot wait to see them play this season. And I'm getting a Chris Olave jersey. It's been decided. I'm getting a Chris Olave jersey. I'm ordering this one right here. See, stay here. This is the one I'm ordering. I'm getting a white away jersey because I haven't ordered a white away jersey yet. I got the black and gold home jersey. I got the color rush. But now I'm getting the away Chris Olave jersey, and I'm going to be using the link down below, chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. I encourage you to do the same thing. That way you can get swagged out just like me. Link will be available in the comment section and the description of this video. Speak of the devil, Chris Olave. He's continuing to build that chemistry with Derek Carr. He continues to move well, and he continues to be an amazing football player. He is a guy who I have a lot of faith in, and I truly do believe will be a, top-tier wide receiver. I had to stop myself and be like, are you sure you want to say this? I'm damn sure. Chris Olave will be a top-tier wide receiver across the NFL during the duration of his NFL career because of just how talented he is. He's going to continue to develop and continue to become an asset across the NFL and across a very powerful Saints offense. And I want to give this photo some love. Shout out to Boot Crew Media and John Hendricks, Chris Rosvoglu, all those guys who work over there. I wanted to give a quick shout out to these guys because this picture is awesome. Look at Chris Olave just getting some direction, working on communicating with his quarterback. And again, I know I keep saying it, but dude, look how swole Derek Carr looks, man. I can't get over it. It's incredible. But yeah, this picture is awesome. I love seeing Chris Olave continue to develop and continue to work with Derek Carr. I have a strong belief that Chris Olave is your wide receiver of the future. I don't necessarily think that the Saints are going to invest a ton of their future in Michael Thomas anymore. So I love that our franchise quarterback and franchise wide receiver continue to build that chemistry and continue to build that bond. Alontae Taylor. We have one more note after Alontae Taylor to round things out. So just hold tight with us, guys. Alontae Taylor, he started out on the outside as a cornerback. Obviously, we saw earlier Marshawn Lattimore and Paulson Adebo were not present today, so he was working a lot with Isaac Yiadom, and they were working on the outsides as the CB1, CB2. However, I found this pretty interesting. He started taking some snaps in the slot. So could we see Alontae Taylor become a nickel guy? Because if you think about it, ever since C.J. Gardner-Johnson's left, sure, you got Bradely Roby. Sure, he is serviceable. Sure, he can do it just fine. But if Alontae Taylor can be a dog and can be what C.J. Gardner-Johnson was in the slot and just be physical, be mean, have too much swagger, have way too much fun out there, I think that is a very, very useful useful piece of the defense, and I cannot wait to continue to watch Alontae Taylor become a true cornerback too, because we love Marshawn Lattimore, but man, Alontae Taylor is a stud. And to round things out, Demario Davis, he was back. He missed the first round of OTAs. He was there this time. You can see him getting in that work. He's getting in the tackles. He's working on his form. We all know Demario Davis is a stud. We all know he's a phenomenal leader. So it's great to see him out there with the rest of the New Orleans Saints during this second session of OTAs. And I understand this may have been a little bit longer of a video. Just a little bit. So if you're still rocking and rolling with us, but you're also subscribed, go in the comment section and type "Stay Golden" because I know where all the people in the Golden Gang are at. They're subscribed. They like the video. They have their noties on. They comment every single video. And all of you can join the Golden Gang by subscribing, turning on your notifications, and typing "Stay Golden" in the comment section. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you tomorrow.